The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Ready, ready. Steal, check, steal.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Ready.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go. Well, this defense for the Saints, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
Okay,
this defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6.
Flight 2.
Here's Tua. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. They find some open field here. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Tua sets up to pass it. Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the Saints are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Again, it's Kamara. he's got some space here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Well, a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. They'll try the air now with Watson. And that is incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Watson. He's going to go up top again. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
He'll return it from the 6. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Here we go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Let's go.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Ready?
Looking to pass. Tua. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 27 yards there, a first down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The Falcons at 1-5, really struggling here to start the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset, being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They get the home crowd behind them. That means they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Understand?
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 41. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. Well, these two teams, they met in New Orleans earlier in the year with the Saints coming out on top. So a win here in Atlanta would give them the season sweep. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Watson just beating the play clock. They'll get this out to Kamara. Only able to gain a couple there. 3rd and 7 now.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. There's Chris Olave. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Arnold Ebiketie from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Throwing out right here, caught by Olave. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. Here's Watson. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And, oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Badgley able to punch this one through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Smash.
So now, Charles, this drive, maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Here we go.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Trouble, 38. Set, huh?
They'll go again with Gibson. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
22 needle. Black Ultra.
Tua looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Looking for Campbell downfield. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 67 yards. But hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there. Try to pound it in, Kamara.
Not a whole lot there after the penalty, but remember, it was 1st and 5, not 1st and 10, so now they can keep grinding out 1st downs and good things can happen for them. Just 2nd and short coming up.
On 2nd and goal, Watson. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Marlon Davidson. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. Watson now to throw. His pass caught at the 4. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Badgley's kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Let's go now.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are still in search of their first points in the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a first down. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Ready, set.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Red, yellow, black shot. Hut, hut.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Ready.
I have to tell you, Brandon, I feel like a coach right now because I'm wondering why the angle route continues to be so effective when as an inside linebacker, you're always taught, don't let someone cross your face. If they want to go outside, it's okay. But they make that outside fake, cut back inside, off into great success.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Smash, red. Ready.
On 2nd and 10, Tua. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Ready, break.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Ready?
Running up the middle, here's Dillon. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll run with Gibson. Gibson gets hit, and he fumbles it. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. He was trying to do anything. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Ready.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Striker, 3-3. Ready.
On the counter, Gibson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment.
Ready.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Tua. Buying time to his left. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down.
Eagle blue.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A kicker fest so far. All points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Gibson, touchdown, Falcons. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're kind of searching for that magic elixir. You know, they're moving the football a little bit, but not with any great consistency.
I love that term you just used, elixir, right?
Old school.
Old school. I love that because you don't want to put too much pressure on your defense as well, all right? If you're kicking field goals, that's great, but your defense has to keep going out there and holding the other team. You're not giving them any cushion to work with, and that gets tougher and tougher as the game goes along. Put the ball in the end zone and get sixes. That's the ambrosia that they're looking for.
Ambrosia trying to... And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Falcons grab it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
On second down, a run with Gibson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
Here we go.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
Ready.
Straight ahead, Gibson. 47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Check, strike.
On second down, Dillon. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A.J. Dillon, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead is up to 8.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go here before intermission. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Watson. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. They'll credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
Now it's Watson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it. And that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Ready?
After the turnover, it's Tua. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will extend their lead here to 17-6.
Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, Bean, the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
On the give, running right is Howard. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. And his throw here is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Falcons are going to get the football here at their own 23.
As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys, but let's go ahead and start cutting it down right here. Instead, an interception happened, so a 2-possession game might become 3. So as we get going here in the second half, this could rapidly reach the point where there isn't enough time left for a comeback if their defense doesn't bail them out.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Ultra.
Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Ready. Smash.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
61 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Check, smash. Drill, 52. Blue striker.
Back to the air on 2nd down, Tagovailoa. This one into the hands of Pitts. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Falcons. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From the gun, here's Watson. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 34-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. To throw is Watson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that'll get the deficit down to 15.
So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the 3rd quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Spike 60. Ready?
On 2nd down, another run for Dillon.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Give up the...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And this is back to an 8-point game. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. And now it's down to a one-score game.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
From the 29, Tua. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
Let's go.
Final minute now of the third quarter.
Hey, go steal. Green jack.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a first down.
Ready?
On 1st down, right back to Gibson.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here we go.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Tua sets up to pass it.
That's caught left side to tight end Pitts.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 29-yard line. Give them 18 on the play.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Hey, go Fury. Ready.
He fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Let's go now.
2nd and 8.
Steal. Check steal.
A give running right, Gibson.
Down to the 25. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Once more, Gibson.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Certainly some pressure here on Younghoe Koo.
This to make it a two-score game.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So that CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a two-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a two-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a two-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well. That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Back to throw, Watson. He's got a man, complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
And that one results in 35 yards. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is, his ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A 10th carry for Kamara. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now this throw caught left side. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try to get the ball back again.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Faking the give. Now Watson. Out to his left. Caught on the slant. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now 1 yard to go on third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
Kamara is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Good job there defensively to push them back on first down. I'm not sure if this is 4-down territory or not because they can kick the field goal and get it back within a score. But you know that's not what they're thinking right now. A field goal has to be their last option.
2nd down and goal. Watson. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Saints have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. I don't want to say that they're completely against the wall here, Charles, but all of a sudden, with the run that they've been on the other sideline, this is down to a 3-point game. They got to be careful.
Not much space from their back to the wall, though. So you're exactly right. They've got to be careful here. But this is where the value of note-taking and recall comes into play. What was working earlier? Why was it working? Can you get those types of matchups again? And can you run those plays that'll get you a little bit more breathing room and a little bit of space?
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4.
Claws red.
Tua going to throw.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run. But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second down, and it's Kamara again. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Here's Watson. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That third down conversion good for 23.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Off of play action, it's Watson.
They'll get this out to Kamara. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Alvin Kamara with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
Important extra point up and through, and that will make this a 4-point game. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away.
On the ready.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And even 100 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Gibson again.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Right blue. Ready.
Tagovailoa.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. I see you nodding your head up and down. That's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
Here we go.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Tua. And this nearly intercepted. Probably should have been. Had he caught it, it would have sealed it. Instead, one more chance coming up on 4th down.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Let's go. Red, cycle. Red, yellow. Ready?
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Tua.
And this is caught. He hits more. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
Here we go. Set. Black shot. You, yellow. White, white. Cut.
Now Tua.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Smash, red. Needle blue. Blaster, six. Ready, ready.
Here's Tua. He's got it to Gibson.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
They'll run with Gibson.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow.
Well, that is the definition, Charles, of delivering under pressure. The game-winning potential. There's still a little time left on the clock, but the potential game-winning drive, and it was well executed.
I think we're going to remember this possession for a long time. We've called a bunch of games, but how about how they got it done down the stretch? Absolutely terrific. Barring some type of miraculous play in this last half minute, I think that touchdown just earned them the win. They really came up clutch when they needed it.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Now Watson.
And this one is incomplete. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. One last throw here for Watson. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of mid.